Thank you very much, and thank you, Frank, and good morning, everyone. And I'm delighted to be able to join you virtually this morning to outline the activity and the outcome of the joint symposium held at the EAAP 2021 meeting in Davos in late August. Firstly, I'd like to pass on the apologies of Professor Michael Lee, who is the President of the Livestock Farming Systems Commission, who dearly wanted to join with you today but is unfortunately unavailable. I too am sorry that I can't join you in person in Brussels, but I'd like to wish you the very best for a very constructive and meeting and a healthy and safe return home for everybody. Michael Lee, who's the President of the Livestock Farming Systems Commission, extends his apologies because he's unable to join us today, and I myself am sorry that I can't be present in Brussels if we get over these technical challenges we're experiencing currently. But I'd like to wish everybody there the very best for a successful meeting and a happy and safe return home. In 2021, building on a long and successful relationship between the Animal Task Force and the EAAP, a one-day symposium was delivered to engage with discussions amongst farmers, industry, scientists, policymakers and wider society. So on behalf of the Livestock Farming Systems Commission of the EAAP, I would like to thank the Animal Task Force for collaborating with us on what I believe was a very successful one-day symposium. And I would take this opportunity to express our desire to continue such a relationship at future EAAP meetings. So, Frank, you have outlined briefly the background to the one-day symposium and the challenges we're faced with and how it relates to the somewhat controversial subject of food versus feed competition. And that requires a shift and potentially a disruptive shift in resourcing animal feeding in European agriculture. Only 20 to 25% of annually produced terrestrial agricultural biomass is edible as human food. Therefore, animals are very useful to convert and upcycle the remaining 75% into edible food and manure that is a source of nutrients and carbon for plant and soils. However, in response to increased market demand and economic pressure, some agricultural systems and territories have become increasingly specialised. At the same time, productivity in the agricultural sector has largely increased, and mixed farming systems integrating crop and livestock production have strongly declined in many countries and regions, especially within the European Union. Modern agriculture has developed with livestock and crop production becoming more intensive and in many cases more specialised and spatially separated, which has resulted in an imbalance in nutrient flows and negative impacts on the environment. To deliver more sustainable farming systems, it's essential to develop science-based management strategies that reduce the current reliance on non-renewable resources and securing production in an increasingly unpredictable climate. Such solutions focus on sustainable land use and the interconnection of arable and livestock systems as part of a circular and sustainable bioeconomy at various scales. The importance of the one-day symposium held at the EAAP was highlighted by the presence of EAAP President Isabel Casus to open the morning session. So the title of the morning session was Mixed Crop Livestock Systems, and the question poses, do they deliver more resilient food systems? Amit Nadada and Jean-Louis Perrault opened the morning session by presenting the findings of the outcomes from the ATF and Plans for Future ETP work from 2018 to 2020. In the context of the Farm to Fork strategy, 3 recommendations were developed. The upgrade of life cycle analysis to track progress towards more sustainable farming by assessing the interactions between crop and livestock sectors in a circular economy, and to properly evaluate biodiversity, economic and social performances of various value chains. Secondly, the optimization of synergies in circular livestock and cropping systems covers identification and development of innovative cropping systems allowing for permanent soil cover and livestock farming systems, as well as genetic improvement of plants and animals to maximise resource use efficiency, and development of biorefineries to support the circularity to maximise the utilisation of products and byproducts, as well as nitrogen and protein from manure and green biomass. Governance, roles of stakeholders and public policies would change over time, meaning actors' coordination to change the socio-technical system and design of public policies to guide positions was the third recommendation. Following on from this, we had a range of speakers, including Michael Lee, Tomas Turbot, Max Schumann, Olaf Sass, and Ruth Teasens, who presented their findings and discussed the challenges on the topics of plant and system level improvements to deliver more nutritious plants to support livestock production, and also discussed the development of a European protein industry. The success to date and future potential for development and breeding of plants with improved composition around nutrition, product quality, and reducing the environmental impact disclosed, citing examples in the improvements in total dry matter yield and early spring growth to enhance the contribution of grazed, pastured meat and milk production systems, or alterations in chemical and nutrient composition of forages for enhanced microbial efficiency or product quality. Continued developments in this area are required to fully allow livestock to achieve their potential within future sustainable food systems, and identification of new traits for grass species, for example, so breeders can better support animal requirements, and the animal-plant interactions around grazing systems are underway. The needs for a plant breeding sector that can support a protein growing industry within the EU, which is suited for EU soils, which in themselves are hugely variable across the Union, that will return revenues that are capable of competing with cereal production for farmers, were also highlighted. In this instance, it's critical that the science keeps pace with the policy in the development of protein crop varieties that can consistently perform under European conditions, as the push for inclusion of protein crops in rotations increases to deal with the increasing scrutiny placed on the import of protein crops, particularly soy. Integration between plant breeders, the farming sector, the feeding sector, and between cropping and livestock was highlighted as essential to bridge the gaps and develop new crop systems and integrations to deliver solutions to the multiple challenges facing the sector within the European Union. The panel discussion, which I won't attempt to summarise in totality, was broad-ranging and very involved, and these discussions focus on the farming and climatic diversity across the European Union and the fact that this presents a huge advantage to offer a range of solutions within the whole array of livestock, monogastric, insect and aquaculture systems. And this has a huge role to play in valorising waste streams, while the development of new knowledge is critical. The pathway to the implementation of current best practice must be optimised, and we need to take advantage of farmer-led peer-to-peer learning. The afternoon session then was built on the theme of going beyond feed versus food competition, crops and animals together to address food and nutrition security. Once again, Ruth Teasens highlighted the value of animals in valorising inedible feeds from marginal lands, but also the need to invest and research into using previously underutilised organisms and the most up-to-date technologies to deliver humans the optimal amount and quality of proteins. Valorisation of food waste and animal manures present opportunities, but also risks which need to be considered. Jean-Louis Perrault and Amote presented new metrics for the evaluation of feed efficiency of livestock at world and European level to contextualise the importance of livestock in valorisation of human non-edible biomass resources. These feed conversion ratios considered feed edible by humans, land suitable for human food production, and the proportion of inedible feed in the diet. It was evident that there were species and systems variation, but each system offered its own advantages, and there was little ground for simply promoting one system at the expense of another, as it fails to consider all inputs and externalities. Donna Hennessy from Chalmers expanded this discussion as he evaluated 4 different livestock systems for their land use efficiency at a food systems level. He compared the quantity of human digestible protein produced by the livestock system against the human digestible protein of the potential alternative crop from the land use to grow the system's feed and fodder. His conclusion was that certain regions are more suited for ruminant production depending on their suitability for cropping, while pig systems based on human edible feed were constantly land use inefficient. Phyllis Anungu and Shirley Tarwali expanded the discussions to focus on smallholder livestock systems, which are largely mixed cropping and livestock. A clear outcome was the need for more accurate measurements to capture the heterogeneous nature of emissions intensity of such systems, and to develop indicators for the reduction of this intensity, with a warning issued that the transformations required in the developing world in the context of rapidly rising demand for milk, meat and eggs in particular must not come at the expense of system integration. Finally then, to summarise the suggestions for research and investment, circularity is key, but supply chains need to be redesigned to achieve this. Diversity of production systems is also an asset, but life cycle analysis needs to capture the range of externalities involved. Understanding and better understanding the biology of plants to improve forage quality and forage utilisation is essential in the valorisation of human and edible nutrients. Cropping systems should become more integrated with livestock to meet the mutual needs of both systems and better support the range of agroecological functions society now requires. It is essential to develop robust metrics to support consumer and retailer demand for life cycle analysis type food labelling, but these must capture not only emissions but biodiversity, water, nutrient upcycling and a range of other services provided by livestock systems. And finally, it is acknowledged that knowledge exchange is a crucial aspect of meeting the challenges facing the livestock sector. So to close, Frank, the Livestock Farming Systems Commission really values the relationship with the Animal Task Force, and we look forward to discussing future collaboration options for EAAP 2022 and beyond. Thank you.